Mic check.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to IRC's live stream. And tonight, as per the schedule announced earlier on our Discord and Instagram page, it's Suzuka Grand Prix tonight. This is ABD 28. Along with me, commentating tonight is Swaggerturbo, and tonight's streamer is our very own admin, Kapil Bharat. Hope you guys are doing well. And our lobby is all set for the Intercontinental Cup round 3. That is IRC versus FFRL. Why don't you brief our viewers about the race format and lineup for this tournament, Swagger?
Hi, thanks for that, ABD. And yeah, the lineup, of course, we have 10 races from IRC and 10 races from FFRL, fighting it out to get the victory, of course. Last time around, it was IRC who took the lead, and they have a 95 points lead, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, IRC is on 215 points, whereas FFRL is on 120. FFRL needs to try and get some better positions and get that points up. But right now, IRC in a comfortable lead. And for the whole, you know, let's say the structure of the race, we have a short qualifying which continues into a 50% race. So we have 18 minutes of quali and then around 27 laps of Suzuka.
Right. Thank you for that beautiful brief on that. Let's go to the track map when you're ready. Okay, so this beautiful track about 3.61 miles and 18 turns with one DRS zone, which will be enabled after lap 2. And it will also create a potential overtaking opportunity at turn 1. And although the best overtaking opportunity would be at the 130R and the final chicane, uh, we'll have to look where the drivers try to send it. And speaking about the comfortable lead that IRC has, they do have one setback for this week's race. They are missing out on two of their best drivers for this week. That is, Helium is not available to race tonight, and he will be replaced by Faizan tonight. And we also have another replacement, that is Fury. Both of them are definitely decent drivers who can get some points for IRC, but yeah, they're they're no match for Helium. So that's a little setback for IRC, and we'll have to look out. This is probably that 1 week where FFRL can definitely reduce the reduce the difference, the point difference, and uh, try and get back in this cup. They do have two more rounds to, uh, you know, win this if they can. Uh, we'll have to see how this week turns out for both of them.
Yeah, definitely. With one of the top drivers not being, able to race at least in this week, yeah, it's going to be really close. If FFRL can, capitalize on this, it'll be great for them because the point difference right now is pretty huge. But of course, it's like a team game, so all the drivers have to do well, get their points, and yeah, just try and close the gap. IRC needs to try and increase that gap at the same time.
Really
So yeah, going
close.
to be interesting times, of course, with the two new drivers coming in as well. It's going to be a very technical track. Of course, Japan is the starting part with the S section. It's pretty tricky, and then of course you have the second and third sectors where you have the spoon. And of course, the 130R, the fast left-hander. So it's going to be interesting how they set it up. And of course, we have dynamic weather on. So we could even get some rain, and that would spice the whole race up.
Okay, yeah, that those few points well said actually, and of course the one factor that in the Formula One games, would make the race spicy is the weather, and uh, given this is the Suzuka Grand Prix, the weather can definitely make things spicy here. If we have, I don't know, a hybrid race, or even if we have, wet quali, dry race, or vice versa, it's definitely gonna uh, bring some spice to the format for the setup as well. And this will bring the most important thing, to the changes that needs to be done in the setups to, uh, you know, be ready for this race.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, we have a quick lobby restart going on right now, so that's why we are not able to get you guys onto the main, the action going on. But yeah, just FF23 and EA doing its thing. We have to restart it, and yeah, we just have to wait it out to see the cars on track and see what kind of weather it is and what kind of strategies these guys go for. Because if it's dry, I think it's pretty much a one stopper, but then with the tire deck coming in, maybe even two, who knows.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And the race strategy as well is very different here. There are two different options here. It's the soft mediums and then the soft hards. The hard compound obviously can go long, but it's just for the desperate ones. It's probably for the ones who are thinking for the long run, or who has to pit quite early because of damage or some unfortunate situations. But maintaining hards throughout for the 20 laps is definitely going to be a challenge. And uh, yeah, it's gonna bring the best out of each driver to keep it on track.
Well, we've seen carnage happen in Suzuka before, during our IRC season 10 and the previous seasons as well. And let's say we get a bit of rain here. Oh, it's going to spice everything up because going into turn one and two, we have seen so much, like wing damage and people spinning out because it's a very flowy right-hander. And yeah, going into the S's as well, like going side by side is going to be really tricky. And yeah, we just have to wait and see what these drivers do. Will they take it a bit slow? IRC can indeed try and take things a bit slow, just try and get as many points as possible, not put themselves in a situation where they get into different kind of contacts and spinning out and losing time. So yeah, it's like, whereas FFRL right now, they have a point deficit, so maybe they go a bit more aggressive and try to get up there and get better times.
Yeah, that's a very well said. While we are talking about the servers, there's another thing: the drivers that have been contributing. And from IRC, I believe it's Aradia who has brought most of the points so far. So he is the one driver that we should be looking out for tonight's race as well. And we do have the information on the lobby that it is ready, and it should take about 2 more minutes for us to get the action starting.
Oh, that's good news. Because of course, rather than just seeing this McLaren over here, we would love to see some other cars as well and them moving around the track. But yeah, overall, of course, you've also raced over here in the past few seasons, ABD. And yeah, going through like the whole track, do you really just focus on the track, or do you look out for the views as well? Because of course, of course, you see the huge giant wheel or Ferris wheel, whatever you want to call it. And like, do you see those things as well, or are you just completely focused on the track and trying to go through the whole, a- all the sectors?
Yeah, that's a very good point that you have brought in. So it's the graphics, having a high-end PC, even for the people who play on medium to high-end PC, I think they can relate it. They're gonna have the graphics on full. So it is distracting. While it is beautiful to see the game in this cool graphics, it is definitely distracting. And one such instance is the Mexico. When you're racing in the Mexico in the third sector, you're gonna get flashes from the crowd. So that's that is distracting, of course. And of course, in this Grand Prix as well, it's a very narrow track. I mean, compared to what we have raced, let's say Bahrain. Bahrain is comparatively wider track, but yeah, Suzuka is narrow. So the the margin of error is it's just very thin, and then you just cannot make mistakes. So it is distracting, especially the sector one. I would say the S turns where the turns need to be done very quickly, and it's not a controller friendly track. So it's a the people on the wheel are going to have a better advantage in this week. But yeah, that being said, uh, it's somehow it's better to say that it's better to play on lower graphics.
Oh
in
yeah, I've
few of the
seen that
tracks.
a few times. People have the water drops and everything off, so during the wets you can actually see stuff. Otherwise, if you have the graphics on high, all you see is just water drops on the screen, and yeah, it's very hard to maneuver through any track for that matter. And yeah, talking about the track, it's a very technical track as you were saying, because in the first sector you have the S section, the curves, and both the sides you have gravel. So if you, let's say, dip one of the tires into the gravel or even the grass for that matter, you can just spin out so easily, and then just getting out of there is going to be really hard. And of course, we have the rule where you can't reset the track. So if you get stuck in the gravel, you'll have to obviously try and come out. But in case of the slightest of chance where you actually get beached, I think you can get reset back to the track, but that is something that the game does by itself, because otherwise, I think that's a 10-second penalty coming your way if you reset on track. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. According to our rule book as well, the reset to track is not allowed even during the qualifying session. So, uh, these rules have been made for this. Yeah.
So yeah, the wait continues. The lobby has to be set properly. I think we had a few teething issues, and it is full, is what I've heard. And we should be starting really soon, getting into the short quali. 18 minutes of qualifying. These guys are going to put some, fast laps in. Of course, we have seen that in the previous two rounds as well. Both the teams, IRC as well as FFRL, have pretty quick drivers. It's just that, in the race, you need to be consistent. You need to make sure your strategy is right. And yeah, like this track, if you can save up your tires while following someone, pretty close with them. Of course, you only have one DRS zone, which is the start finish straight, and yeah, it's like very technical sector one, and then two and three is bit more flowy sector. Even going through the spoon section or even the hairpin, or going through 130R and the left and right over there. Again, it's like pretty fast corners, as well as you got the slower part to like complete almost stop, I would say, and then of course coming back onto the main straight. So yeah, a lot of action to be had over here. We have, again, Japan overall is not a track for overtaking, so qualifying is going to be really important. And talking about qualifying, we'll be getting to that right now. Oh, I think ABD is having a bit of mic issues. He'll get that sorted, but yeah, you can see that all the players are loading up. We are waiting for three of them to load in. Most of them are here, and yeah, hopefully we don't get a restart yet again. We don't want that to happen. So yeah, 27 seconds for the race to start. We have Tanish, Dark Knight, Aradhya Gupta, Jose Hero, Faizan, three with the pro. I think those are the only names I could read. And yeah, once we get into the session, we'll be able to see the other drivers as well. So yeah, they're all in the garages now, just waiting for the green light. And once the setup is loaded, we can start the quali finally, and we can see the wheel to the on the back of the screen. So yeah, we got the other drivers that we have are level 100 Warfare Boss. What name? We got Gaudi 390 Poodle, AMC Carol. Yeah, Dark Knight, Fury, Sir Angel. Okay, I am not sure about the name.
I'm
But
sorry,
yeah,
I'm back.
we got a lot of all the drivers ready. I think all of them are just waiting. We don't really know if we have rain going on in the
It
session,
looks
or
cloudy. Yeah, it
exactly. It's
definitely
like
looks cloudy. There's a possibility of rain maybe at the end of the session, but again, we still do not have that information, but we should be getting that really soon. And we have the first few cars coming out of the pit lane. That's already 45 seconds into the session. They have loaded their setups, so I believe these drivers were ready for it, for these, for whatever the weather is currently. So yeah. they are out for setting the.
Yeah, these are key times as of now because, again, we don't really know the weather exactly right now. But if there is even a chance of rain during the quali, they need to get out right now and get the times in because inters versus obviously dries, there's a lot of difference, and you have to be on track right now. Maybe get some fresh air. We can already see AlphaTauri and the Red Bull. Oh, a Mercedes, sorry, going really slow in the first sector, and I think he's just making some space for himself. But yeah, a lot of track activity already going on in qualifying, and yeah, these guys are proper racing over here.
Yeah, we already have some action during the hot lap itself. What more can we expect during the qualifying session? We'll have to see. Oh, in return, we can see Vicious pushing the Mercedes driver.
The Mercedes driver has been going really slow this whole lap, but then of course we don't really have any rule in F123 where they have to just keep that lap time in mind and stuff. So yeah, the Mercedes going really slow, which is
and mind you, the Mercedes is the IRC itself, so it was IRC in that moment. But yeah, Vicious has backed out for now, creating the gap for himself.
Ooh, a beautiful red color helmet on that Aston Martin right
Aston
there.
Martin.
It looks really nice, the color combination, and yeah, the contrast was really good. Both of these guys, no idea what they're doing. Just racing each other in an outlap. But yeah, we have the first IRC driver, McLaren, Moto, going through the S sector. Do you want to take us through the whole lap?
You take it, Swagger, yeah.
Okay, sure. So yeah, first sector pretty decent till now. He's been hitting all the apexes and using the extra bit of curb right there. The going into the second sector now. A very crucial braking as well as exit here does not bottom out towards that end over there. So yeah, pretty good. Getting into the hairpin again. I don't see any stepping out or any snap of oversteer here or there. Okay, there's a slow guy on the left as well. Going through the spoon corner right now, taking it really clean. I think this will be a pretty decent banker lap for Moto, who is now approaching the 130R. And yeah, overall, we have seen that Moto has the pace. He needs to try and convert that into some race wins as well now, because we've seen him in the previous races as well. While Jose puts a 128 to 1 on the board, but yeah, he's been putting Moto has been up there, but yeah, he has not won anything yet. A 127.5 is what he has put in, and the Red Bull right behind him has put in a 126.7. So pretty rapid there from the FFRL guy.
Definitely, and I think we can definitely match these times that is set by Body, and we are yet to see much more faster lap times there. Little far than we expected him to be. 127.1 is what presets, and he is so far the fastest from IRC. Gets the P2 for now. Carroll, the Ferrari second driver, and he is able to set 127.8, goes down to P6 as Mad Lando sets a 127 flat, and he goes up to P2. Looks like Hakkinen is missing. Oh, he's racing for Williams, so there's some switching between the drivers, and we see Curie setting a decent lap time as per his pace. He is down to P12 as of now, and he can definitely improve. Speaking of which, Hakkinen is about to set the lap time, and we shall be having some idea where the whole lobby stands as of now into the final chicane. And off, but yeah, it looked a little off the way he took the final turn. So he sets he's up to P5, 127.4 his lap time. Some interesting lap times from all of these drivers, some unexpected performance from quite a few people, but the qualifying is just not over yet, and this was just the first run of the few drivers.
Yeah, the starting bit of qualifying going really well for the FFRL boys. We see the Red Bull and the Ferrari up there with a 126.7. That's a very good lap for, just a banker lap out there. And yeah, Moto was on a set of mediums, so we definitely will see him going a bit faster on his second run. And yeah, the first lap, just get used to the track, and then of course you get a lot of time. You have 18 minutes to set your fastest lap. So yeah, these guys maybe just putting in the lap in, just trying to figure out the setup. We are of course in park firmly, so we can't change it, and we just see the oh, I
And
forgot which
looks like
driver that was,
Araji.
but yeah, he
That was
went pretty
Araji.
wide.
Yeah, he has. That it looks like he invalidated his snap by that.
Well, that's unfortunate for
Araji.
him, but yeah, that's P4 for him. Both the Mercedes boys doing pretty well, and yeah, overall, right now, a few of them had their lap times invalidated, and they are either on an out lap or in the pits now. So a lot of time left, and that's a very
Oh, that's
slow
a
moving.
touch between incumbent and the the Williams just now that we saw, and 5 place grid penalty, which should be I don't know. It's gonna stay for this race, and incumbent Wolf is gonna get that 5 place grid penalty, or was it Williams who got it? Yeah, so it's incumbent Wolf who got the penalty. He was slow. He was moving very slow, but I believe there was a contact between him and the Williams driver Hakkinen, and he was going in the pits. So that's an unfortunate incident between the FFRL. Just suppose, there's a driver who's going into the pits and there's a slow driver. There was no need for any contact or even driving fast. So I'm not sure if that was necessary, but anyways, it's one of their own who gets a great penalty and a big one.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate because, of course, in real life as well, we see that the teammates are fighting each other to try and get better. But of course, in an in-lap, that's really not required, and just unfortunate for FFRL because they are right now a 10-man team rather than just a 2-man team. So yeah, just getting that 5 second, 5 grid penalty, of course, is going to be a problem for him because right now he's 12th, and that will definitely put him down to the bottom of the grid, maybe I think 17th. Yeah, so that's not really ideal for him. But yeah, on board Tanish right now, another pretty decently quick driver, and he is the one who had the red color helmet, and it looked really good from the the camera shot that we saw earlier, and even now it's like the whole vibe matches. It's like the softs are red, his helmet is red, and yeah, overall a pretty clean looking lap till now, going into 130R and a very crucial braking zone off the track. Let's see what kind of lap time Tanish can put in because he's done a 1 minute 10 for the second sector. The third sector is pretty short. It's just this brake, turn right, turn left, and then put to the flow, get to the finish line. Can Tanish get himself into the top 3? Gets over the line, and that's only a P6 for him.
It was a decent push, and he can definitely improve. Maybe get second at him as well. Oh, someone in the grass. Quite a couple of yellow flags here and there. It's just the slow drivers or drivers who are not on hot lap giving the way to the fast ones. We are on board Moto, who's just in the sector, the final sector, and about to set the lap. That is second run. This is his second run, and probably might not have time to for the fourth. Yeah, he's probably gonna go for the final one after this. And yeah, we can see that as for the game that shows, it's the second sector was purple, and this is the final turn that he has made, and we'll have a few seconds to see where he puts this car. And yes, that is the Moto that we know. He gets the provisional pole position. Oh, some interesting stuff going on here is the Red Bull that is very close and who has invalidated his lap. So we're not gonna see on that. But that was a great lap time from Moto. But I still believe that Bree can beat this lap time. He can definitely go into the 126.6. He just has to, I don't know, just get his concentration together. And I believe we should be seeing those lap times by the final run.
Yeah, cool. This is just the second run. These guys get 3 sets of tires to use in quali, so we'll definitely see some faster times coming in, coming towards the end of the session. There's still, I think, 7 minutes left for the session. So yeah, we see a few improvements. A couple of guys, the bottom also improving a little bit, and yeah, it's just not enough to get into the top five. But yeah, top five right now is a pretty solid top five. We have three of the IRC boys and two from the FFRL, and we can see that these guys are going out of the way into the grass to give way. So yeah, a lot of respect shown between each driver. And yeah, Hakkinen right now on his lap, going through Spoon. Let's see what kind of lap time he sets.
Yeah, and he did get the purple sector 1 in this stint, and just into the final sector. Oh, and he does get the sector 2 purple as well. So he is about to set a pretty good lap time, and he still has one more run that he can possibly do. And the final turn that he has made, just the straight left and little wide that he has gone, and he is 2000 faster than Moto who gets a provisional pole for now. That's the Hakkinen that we have seen in the first two rounds. That is the Hakkinen we know. And yeah, he gets the pole position from the IRC, but this is not over just yet, because the time gap between these two is very small, and in the final run this can be changed, and we might have the IRC boys can still take the pole from FFRL right now. Pridapo has already set his second lap, the second run, and he was able to improve his time, but just not much enough to gain a position as well. So he's just holding on to that position for now, with about 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. The pole position is pretty much up for the grabs, and even the top 10, the mid pack, that's already is almost locked, but few positions can be changed if drivers are able to improvise on their times, except for the two Haas drivers who are yet to set any lap. It's from the FFRL. These two are. We have seen File PP in the 2 weeks, and he has been a decent driver. So we'll have to see what kind of run he does. And Sir Angel has just started his lap, the hot lap, and we just saw one retirement. I'm not sure if that was on the track or in the pit lanes, but this was the end for the Alpine driver, the IRC driver, Vicious, and he is right now on P8. But I believe Spanish can take him, and apart from that, the other drivers have to improve at least by half a second, the 0.5 seconds that they have to improve by to get the position of Vicious. So I believe he's safe for now, but we can see Sir Angel getting the fastest sector 1. Is this the surprise factor from FFRL? And yeah, he was waiting for the last moment to get out of the track. We'll have to see what kind of time he can set.
Maybe he can be the Hulkenberg of this league, because if you've seen Hulkenberg putting in some really good lap times during quali, and yeah, of course we have equal performance cars, so that shouldn't really affect much. But yeah, he's on a very, very quick lap right now, and setting at least getting the purple sectors on screen on the map. So this could be really close, at least maybe even a top 5. So going to the last turn right now, up to the finish line, and that is just P8. So he has lost a bit of time in the third sector, which is pretty short to be honest. But yeah, only 3/10 between the top 6 right now, and it's like the gap between P1 and P10 is just about a second. So pretty close right now. We have to see how it goes in a race, because of course you have full fuel and you have to try and manage your tires as well. So yeah, a lot of strategies to come into play, and I think if you get into the pits now, you might just have enough time to get out and set your last time in, because you have 2 minutes 30 seconds. The average lap over here is, I think, around 1 minute 30. So yeah, even with the out lap, let's say 135, you need to be on track for your final hot lap right now.
About 15 seconds. They have about 15 seconds to leave for their final runs. And we can see the Haas driver who has not set the time yet, the Philippe. He's also out for lap right now. And this is the final 2 minutes of the qualifying session. It's cloudy, it's not raining. And this should be the weather for this qualifying session. We'll have to see how the weather turns for the race in about 2 minutes. The final run for all of these guys, and Hakkinen about to start his final run. Both is up.
Yeah, so on to the start finish straight now. DRS is open, getting this is the fastest that you'll be going on this track with DRS, of course. And yeah, going to turn one, touching the apex pretty well there, keeping it very clean, not using the curbs on the outside. And yeah, overall, as of now, he does, seem to be in control. He's pretty confident. The pole sitter, provisional pole sitter for now. And yeah, going on to, it's about to finish the sector 1 as well. A pretty decent and clean lap so far, and is faster on the first sector. So now we just have to wait for his sector 2 and sector 3 times. Of course, the sector 2 finishes after Spoon, where a lot of drivers are there right now. We can see on the minimap as well, there are 3 people going through Spoon just now. And of course, everyone is trying to start the final lap. So maybe a bit of traffic towards the end of this lap, going through here pretty clean yet again on the power pretty early, and yeah, pretty clean. So overall, Hakkinen has been driving very well. Of course, that's the reason he's on pole. That is the fastest second sector as well, a 109.8, and that was almost 4 tenths faster than, almost 3 tenths actually faster than what he had done earlier. But he has a car in front, may get a small slipstream over here, goes on to the finish line, and that is 126.5. That's a 2 tenths improvement from what he already had, and that is the benchmark now. And Moto is just about to start his lap.
Yeah, that's a good lap time for him to hold on to this position for a while. And it's a big challenge up ahead for Moto, who knows his target, who has been waiting for Hakkinen's lap time, and now he knows what he needs to do. And I believe even Free should be the one eyeing on this position right now, if he can definitely improve on his lap times. And we did see another retirement during Hakkinen's lap time. It was level 100 who had retired. I believe he lost the car on track. But yeah, we are into the quali time is up. It's just waiting. We are waiting for all the drivers to finish their hot lap, and we are on board. Moto, who is in the sector 2 right now, and some position changes. Dark Knight, who comes to P11, he has been having some. Oh my God, that is Moto taken out by the Aston Martin, I believe, and that was Fury who was in a very awkward position. Oh, this is terrible. This is not right. This is the IRC driver colliding with another IRC driver. Moto, who was in a phenomenal run, is now down to P4 as Amtarol takes P2, setting a beautiful lap time of 126.6, almost taken that position from Hakkinen, but he holds on to there, and another IRC driver loses his car in the final turn. Jose Hero is not going to improve as his car is out of the track right now. Sandeep with 128, he is also deciding to pit because he's not going to improve much on his lap times. And this looks like the qualifying is done. Hakkinen is in pits. We're waiting for his retirement, and Jose is on the track, who's about to join the pits. That was some spicy final few moments, but the most unfortunate incident that happened was with Moto and Didwin Fury, who gets 5-place grid penalty, who is on P20. So I believe that's not going to change anything, but that was a very spicy ending to this beautiful qualifying that we had.
Oh, the absolute scenes towards the end. I did see, a yellow flag in the second sector coming out of Spoon, and then out of nowhere, you just see the Aston Martin of Fury and Moto colliding with. We talked about this earlier as well, where 2 drivers from FFRL just collided, got a 5 grid place penalty, whereas even now, Moto's quali lap is gone. Fury gets a 5 grid penalty as well. And of course, it's not going to affect him because he's already 20th, but still, it's like that is huge amount of issues for IRC because right now we have 3 drivers from FFRL in the top 5 and only 2 from IRC, whereas earlier it was 3 from IRC and vice versa, basically. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of strats these guys use. It's very, very close margins for at least the top 5 and 6, and after that the gap starts eking out a bit more. But yeah, it's going to be very crucial first few laps, and then of course getting into the um, I would say pit period. Yeah, that time is going to be really interesting to see when these guys pit, what kind of strategy these guys go on to, and yeah, will it be a one stopper or what kind of strategies will they use? Because the skies look clear, and I don't think there's any rain.
Yeah, we do have the information on the weather. The race is going to be dry, and we can definitely see the weather as well. It's almost clear, little clouds here and there, but yeah, the temperature should be warm. And we do have some information for the qualifying session that we had our eyes on Aradhya Gupta, and apparently his best lap was impeded by one of the FFRL drivers, the level 100 in the AlphaTauri, and apparently he has impeded 3 of the drivers. But anyways, which these this incident will be replayed in our reports, but we shall be moving on to the race. And unfortunate for Moto as well there. Uh, we'll have to see how much this costs for IRC. You know, the final few laps, the, the FFRL drivers have gotten the best out of this qualifying session, at least in the final few moments. We have seen that Moto could have improved on the position or at least held it, but his lap time got cancelled. So yeah, he has lost 2 positions. He was on P2, and now he is going to be settling for P4. So he's gonna have to do some hard work to get back to where he was. And even Pre was unable to improve on his lap times. So I think the first 3 drivers are from FFRL, and then it's Moto, the IRC driver. We are waiting for the drivers to make changes in their setups. It's a 1 minute wait time, and then we should be having the race soon. Yeah, it's the formation lap, and we can see the qualifying results as well in this. Uh, and yeah, and the strategy as well. We can see that pretty much all the drivers on medium. It looks like they're going for the medium hards strategy, or is it medium to softs? We'll find out soon. And just a few drivers who have gone for softs. It's NK in the Williams and incumbent Wolf and Fury. These are the bottom players, and they're gonna capitalize on any of the mistakes that these medium runners do. So they are on softs to gain the positions. But we have some interesting choice of stint to start with. Borky on hards to start with the fuel tank that's full. That's maximum. That's a really interesting choice to go on hards here. We'll see how this works out for him. He's maybe betting on the safety car, and the other drivers pit, and he's gonna hold on to the positions or something like that. We'll have to see what is really in his mind.
Yeah, talking about strategy, of course, you're talking about Borky and Hards. I actually feel like if it's going to be a medium to Hards, it's a pretty decent start because, of course, you're starting at the back. There's probably going to be collisions up front. We saw so many of them in the quali itself. So we probably are going to have more of that in or during the race. So starting on Hards, pretty decent. I'm actually confused why the guys in 19th and 20th, Fury and incumbent Wolf, have gone onto softs, because starting from the back, of course, you would like a bit of you want to try and make some moves, but at the same time, won't it just be better to go onto the hards or mediums and yeah, just try and eke that whatever you have from the tire, and then just push at the end when the others are on the harder tires, and you can just go on to the softer compounds and yeah, just try and get more time over there.
Yeah, that's a good point that you have brought in, but I believe it's just a rage strategy. They went they haven't capitalized much on the qualifying, and they are not happy with the position they are in. So I believe it's just a rage strategy, not more than that. But we'll see how this rage puts on to them. We can see a few disqualifications. This is for the formation lap setting on the cars. It's the two drivers only in total, and looks like the grid is set for the race, and we're gonna have the lights out soon. And here we go. 1, 5 lights we have, and it is lights out, and the way we go. The Ferrari has got a good start, but not better than the Williams, who's already holding a decent lead. Very close contacts between the Mercedes and the Williams, the McLaren there, and couple of bangs side by side. We already have yellow flag out. Is it VSC? We are not sure. It's again. I believe we are having some lag here because I can see multiple tire bangings here between Aradia and the Ferrari, Malando, and even the Red Bull that was involved there. Decent start. Amtorol gets the position from Hakkinen, who was who started on pole positions, and these guys are away already. Pre is for a half second out, and it looks like a bit of lag between the drivers. They are moving back and forth, and that was the AlphaTauri spinning away, or got a half spin there, and pretty much decent start. Not many incidents to see except for the two drivers who are at the back of the grid, that is Jose and Fury, and one of the Ferrari is out of the track and joins back. It is a train right now, and we can see that Ferrari has pushed out the Mercedes there. Aradia, who might have wing damage right now. It's the right wing that had the contact. The Haas driver capitalizing every bit of this incident, who gets the position of both of the drivers involved. Another Haas driver already in, Philippe, and multiple cars side by side. We can see pretty much everyone out there going side by side, almost clean, but there were multiple wheel bangings there, and Moto holding on to his position, holding on to that ground as of now, already followed by Body. We are having some time interval glitch right now in the lobby, and we can see some position swap between Vicious and NK. NK falling back a bit, Vicious and Darky getting the best out of this position, the best out of the mistake that he has done, and NK is already going down. Sandeep is the next driver who can get this position, but NK has not given up yet. He is on the back of Dark Knight. Philippe on the back of Aradia. Aradia is doing well so far, but he might have that wing damage, and we saw that Tanish had some traction loss, but he has kept control of that the car there. And interesting 2 laps, and DRS should be enabled once the drivers cross this checkered flag.
Yeah, overall, very, very interesting first 2 laps. And yeah, we did see NK trying to go for a move on Darky around actually down the inside. And yeah, Darky held it pretty well. And yeah, at the back, of course, we saw almost 3 people going 3 wide through 130 turn 1, lap 1 as well. And yeah, I think incumbent Wolf and Jose had a bit of contact because, of course, we did see in the first lap that he got spun around, and he's at the back of the grid now. So at the just talking about the grid, right now we have a battle up our sleeves because we have Darky going side by side with NK, who's side by side with another Alpine. I think that is of Sandeep, and Darky losing 2 positions. The similar thing happened with NK the last time round, and with the help of DRS, it's pretty easy move for these guys, making that look pretty easy. We have Sandeep in 14th, Darky in 15th now, and NK is back up to 13th. So yeah, in the front of the grid, of course, we have Hakkinen in P1, Carroll in P2 now. Both of them have swap positions. We couldn't really see when or how Hakkinen overtook. But yeah, we got Pre on P3 and Moto P4. So yeah, overall, the first lap was pretty crazy. A lot of action going on, and these guys are, there to just try and get as many points for themselves, because we saw how aggressive they went into turn 1 and the whole lap, I would say. And yeah, it was completely chaotic and fun at the same time. It was pretty clean. They gave each other enough space, and I would say that was a pretty decent start. We didn't really see any safety cars, and yeah, overall a pretty good start.
It really was, and the action is still out there because you can see two trains formed here. The cars are pretty much really close; they're not gone far off. But I want to clear one thing that the overtake that was done was without the DRS, and because DRS has been enabled just now. Yeah, that was done without. I believe it was Dark Knight's. No, he didn't get a proper exit, is what I believe, and that's what costed him the position. But we can see that a lot of cars are very close, and into the S section, it's really the dirty air kicks in so hard. We can see the Faizan. Oh, we haven't seen him during qualifying, but yeah, we can see Faizan has gained 6 positions. Not much of a qualifying person, but yeah, he has done so well so far to get those positions. He has started on 17th and now up to P11, and that's a bit good so far. But it's we have to see. We don't have the information just yet. But I would like to see the information of the wings. You know, there were definitely quite a few contacts between the drivers. Are these guys running with few damage, with some wing damage? Because we did see Aradia had a good contact between the Ferrari Marlando. And I'm not sure if he is having wing damage and how many else drivers have. Who are probably waiting for the safety car to be out. And right now we are on board Faizan, who is on the back of Vicious. Both the IRC drivers almost touching and colliding, and NK taking the best out of this, trying to get the position from Faizan and misses out. There was some contact. Sandeep, who is waiting for a mistake to be committed by the Williams driver, and not so far is our McLaren driver Dark Knight. With the help of DRS, Sandeep sends it in down the inside, and he gets the position, making NK go around the outside. But Dark Knight chooses to also go around the outside, taking the longer route, and he is happy right now to stay behind the Williams car. The positions remain same, but the battle is super close. A mistake from Sandeep, who was very close to Faizan, gives the position back to the Williams driver NK14, and these guys are battling out continuously throughout pretty much all the corners. And it's Vicious who is holding and leading the train right now, but it looks like Faizan wants to be the leader. The train is separated. Vicious goes ahead. Faizan is now the new leader. And we did see a time penalty for Jose for the track limits. Is the 3-second time penalty for our Alfa Romeo guy.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff there, going through 130R and literally side by side as well. And as Alonso said, this time at least we know that no drivers over here has a wife and kid to go home to. But yeah, pretty brave stuff going through there. And again, that is a bit of contact, or at least looks like there's a contact between Sandeep and NK there. Sandeep really close and trying to get past NK, who is stuck behind Faizan and goes side by side now, going into turn 1 with DRS. That's going to be a really easy move for him. And of course, he's on the soft compounds as well compared to Faizan's mediums. So yeah, overtakes him there. Sandeep also capitalizing on that and overtakes Faizan with the help of DRS. And now Sandeep at the back of NK yet again will try and overtake him if he can.
And we have a yellow flag. It's the Mercedes that is down 2 positions, and yeah, out of the track, losing a couple of positions more. After that, he is down to P13 and few more. That is Faizan, Dark Knight, Borki crossing him, and that is Aradia down to P17. We are not sure if there was any contact with him, but the show must go on. Borki trying to get the position from Dark Knight. Dark Knight, who was on the back of Sandeep, has lost quite a few time now. We can see that he's off by 1.5 seconds, and now Borki on hards is giving some hard time to our McLaren driver right there. We can see that the whole track is divided in about 2 to 3 trains. The first one being led by Amkerol, and Free the Pro is really close into the final few turns, and this should be a position switch if I'm not wrong, because he does have the advantage of the DRS and he is going side by side to get the position, and he does get the position. That is Pre the Pro on up to P2. Finally, some switch between the front drivers, and Moto is just behind the Ferrari driver, waiting for the chance to overtake.
Yeah, and during all this battling, Hackett has just dipped. He's like, thank you very much, I'll take the 3.8 second lead. And it's almost 4 seconds now to Pre, and there we go. It's a 4 second lead to P2, and that is a huge gap to have because you can go into the pits, literally, and come back, and you will be covered from the undercut as well. So we have a huge train yet again behind Gaudi, trying to, I think, get closer to Moto. And yeah, the top, I would say, from P2 all the way down to P7 are very, very close, and it's anybody's game. We just saw that Aradhya spun out and he's down to P15. So a small mistake can just put you back. Oh, and
And
that's
that is a retirement. The Boki in Red Bull going, he was drifting sideways in the background of Aradia, and there was then some absolute scenes there. And that is the first safety car. All the lead that Hakkinen had is now down to nothing, because we have the first safety car of this race, and now we should be seeing some drivers into the pits. I believe all the hard runners can pit right now for the hard. For the medium runners can pit now for the hards. And Pre the Pro trying to overtake in the pit. Some wheel banging between him and Hakkinen, and Faizan getting some time penalty for track warning during the safety car. And some battle going on in the pits even now. It's probably the delta that these guys are trying to hold on to, and that's why they are slowing down. And yeah, we did see that Aston Martin slowing down for no reason, and we see that Tanish has not decided to pit, followed by Vicious, who is in the Alpine. These two, the drivers of IRC, are now at the safety car, at the back of the safety car, and Hakkinen is out of the pits, and he holds on to that P3 position right now, followed by Pre the Pro, who was just behind, behind him during the race. And pretty much all the positions, all the drivers have been. We can see some drivers pit for soft, and that is really an interesting choice of tires at this time.
Yeah, indeed. It's pretty much a easy choice to go into the hards and just go to the end, because of course we still have almost when they pit, at least they had around 20 laps to go, and hards, I think, can make it till there. And yeah, a few of them choosing softs is a pretty interesting indeed. But yeah, the thing that I would say right now is Tanish and Vicious, both in IRC, are 1 and 2, can actually try and help out Pre, just slowing Hakkinen down if they can, and yeah, be a kind of a menace on track to just spice things up even more. Of course, we saw P2 all the way down to P6 really close to each other, and they are still pretty close to each other even after their trip to the pits. And yeah, Aradhya is up to P13 now with his pit. I don't think he had any wing damage, because if he had changed the wing, he would obviously lost a few positions, whereas right now he's in, sitting pretty in P13. Most of them are onto the hards. The front runners, I would say, these guys, obviously Hakkinen was leading before the safety car and would still lead once Tanish and Vicious pit. So it's going to be an interesting safety car restart, and really, really cheeky move, try to get the position over Hakkinen by Pre while getting into the pits.
Yeah, it was really cheeky. And speaking of the tire wear the hards are gonna have till the end of the race, yeah, they're gonna definitely not be in the puncture territory. 20 laps is something that's easily possible. But I believe the drivers were not confident on the hard stint, so it's probably they have decided to go for another soft medium, I believe, because they didn't want to go on to the hard stint. Because I've practiced this track recently on this game, and like I said, keeping the car on the track on hards it's tough compared to it's tough comparatively, given that the first sector that we have, the quick turns, they are to be done. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a small thing going on with the stream. So yeah, once we will be back live really soon to the coverage. Of course, we have the safety car going on right now, and leading the pack is Tanish. And of course, we know that Tanish has had experience with leading a race earlier, and he's a pretty quick driver, especially in quali. At least he does set in quite a lot of times in TT and is pretty quick. But yeah, right now he is leading. Maybe just not having the best quali yet, and yeah, at least he's back where he thinks he should be at. And I've seen him do a few restarts, and he's pretty technical with it. He's pretty like he does catch a few drivers off guard. So yeah, we just have to see if he catches Vicious off guard or does he catch the whole grid as well? Because of course Hakkinen is right behind Vicious. So we have two IRC members behind, like two IRC drivers in front, and right behind them is Hakkinen, and safety car is in this lap. That is a very late call, and he doesn't really have much time. So the safety car just goes in. Hakkinen trying to go side by side, and he's already gone. Danish has had a pretty decent start, and we can see that the pro is side by side with Hakkinen. This is exactly what I was talking about, and catching him off guard, he does. Pre going down the inside, getting the position there, and Moto is P5, pretty close to Hakkinen yet again, but he has to care about Carol, who's right behind him. So yeah, a very good restart there for Pre, who's already overtaken Vicious, and I think Vicious has had a spin because he's dropped down to P10, and now yeah, he's just going down.
Yeah, we saw him in the gravel just after the turn 3 in the SS. We saw him lose the car, and Tanish has decided to give the position to Pri, who was on a beautiful run. He had a beautiful restart. We saw him overtaking Hakkinen in the turn 1 itself, and now Hakkinen on the back of Tanish. He is pushing because he is using all his ERS, and so is Tanish, who's already down to 70. Both of them giving an equal fight, and interesting to see that Hakkinen has decided to back out and not make it side by side there. Amkerol on the back of Moto. We see the action is back now, and it is more interesting as more drivers join in, and this is another opportunity for Aradia to get back in this race. He's already up to P10 right now, and you can see if he... Oh, and there's a bit of contact between Moto and Amkerol, and couple of more drivers. I cannot see what is happening right now, but we see at least 5 drivers being involved and multiple things, obviously. And Ferrari decides to join the pit so late, and it is a safety car, of course. And someone has decided to reset to track. I believe the car was in the pits, and he is now on the track. He's forced to join the track, and it was Alpine, if I'm not wrong. But I do not remember what happened in that incident, but we do remember that it was the Ferrari and Moto who had a contact, and the Ferrari decided that he is still gonna press the throttle. I'm not gonna stop. I don't care if the car in front of me is in an awkward position. I'm gonna push it away. That was a really awkward decision from the Ferrari driver, not deciding to stop, and that has created a lot of chaos there. And it was raining wings of all the drivers, and let's see if we still have. And Moto has not seen the. Yeah, this is the race strategy that I talk about. He went into the pits. We saw him. He comes out on the softs, and we see that that was the race strategy. And I believe the safety car is waiting for the leader, that is the pro. Okay, to pick the leader, and now it is a drive-through penalty for Moto. He's already down to P14, so it's gonna cost him a lot this race, and he's gonna need a much bigger luck this week to get back into the race. And meanwhile, Aradia, who has been unlucky, is now up to P6. Now we're gonna see drivers coming around pits. Now we see if someone has decides to go into the pits. Yeah, we see that the Aston Martin has decided to pit right now, and that's Tanish in the mediums. He's probably gonna go for hards, I believe.
Yeah, softs definitely are not going to go to the end. And yeah, Moto just having a pretty bad day, I would say, because it just went from bad to worse. He got spun around, and yeah, is down to P14, gets a drive through as well. That's pretty much a GG for him for the race, unless they get yet another safety car. And especially after the last restart, oh boy, anything can happen because these guys are just pushing it to the limit. They have 100% DRS as well, spamming it through what fast left-hander going onto the the final sector as well. And yeah, it's like so many of them, including Gaudi, Moto. I would say even I think Carroll, who was the Ferrari who had the contact with Moto. Of course, we couldn't catch the whole event that went down there, but yeah, a lot of people just losing out. And a few gainers are, of course, Aradhya, Faizan, and Dark Knight, who were not even in top 10. So, yeah, we have Jose, Tanish, and Angel completing the top 10 as of now. Definitely Tanish will have to fit, and a 5-second penalty for incumbent Wolf. I think he overtook someone and lost position. But yeah, of course, 5-second penalties can be just fought with the stewards and try to remove it unless he fits. So yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for him. But overall, pre the pro, a beautiful restart for him, and he gets the lead right now. Tanish was trying his best to try and keep Hacken behind him by using his ERS as well. And this is the strategy that I was talking about. Like the teammates just helping each other out. And yeah, that was really smart as well as pretty clean at the same time. But yeah, it was super, like weird. At the same time, it was
It
like
really was.
very, very chaotic because the drivers behind, they had to obviously brake. A few had to go off track to try and avoid the whole carnage which was going on in front. And yeah, absolute chaos.
It really was, and look at the cost right now. Carroll is already down to the last position that's available here, and he just took himself along with Moto out. It's like one of the cars lagged back there, but yeah, it just looks like he just took out. There was no necessity for that move, and now just look at his position. Both of them are out of the race, and it looks like someone has gotten a overtaking warning, I believe, and we should be seeing the 5-second warning right now. Yeah,
Oh,
we can see that 5-second warning to Hakkinen for ignoring the yellow flags. It did look like someone got the unfair overtake warning, and we saw someone going into the grass as well to fix that. But anyways, we are back on the roll, and we see Aradia up to P4. And if you see the positions right now, it's 3 leading, and then followed by 2 of the FFRL drivers and Arathya. And then these guys who were not in the action for quite some time now, Faizan, Dark Knight, and Jose is back. Jose, who was on the last position at the start of the lap, is now up to P7, and he's in a decent position right now. And if he can hold on to this position at least, or I don't know, maybe slow down the drivers behind him, especially Hakkinen, who's just behind him, he would be doing a great favor to the IRC as the team play itself. And we can see the positions gained, Faizan and NK. These two drivers have gotten the good lead.
yeah, and sorry to interrupt you there, ABD, but we have Hakkinen, who was in P2. He got the 5-second penalty, as well as he went back almost, I think, 5 or 6 positions. He's down to P8 now, has lost 7 positions, and that was very weird because during the S's, he just stopped, went onto the grass, and it just rejoined behind Jose, which was really weird because even if he did get, let's say, a 5-second penalty, he should have just continued because now he has got the 5 seconds as well as lost almost 5, 6, 7 positions.
Yeah, and we did see that one of the cars had lagged back during the safety car. So I'm not sure which one was that. And because of that lag, I believe that Hakkinen has gotten the 5-second penalty. He did not overtake anyone, but just one of the cars in front of him had, lagged behind, and he was not sure what was going on. And
The only car in front of him was Bree. So yeah, definitely a weird
from P2
lag
to
going on.
P8, actually he did spin around, I believe.
No,
He
he did
lost again.
slow down, I'm pretty sure. So during
Okay.
the S section, he slowed down.
Mhm.
And yeah, of course, that's up to the stewards and him to decide. Of course, we had Hakkinen as well as Moto really close on track. Both of them, I would say Moto, of course, has the bad end of the stick because he's P14 with a drive through. But yeah, Hakkinen in P8 has to do a lot of work to get back to at least P2, if not even P1, because he did have almost 4 seconds over before the safety cars, and now he's in P8. God knows how many seconds that will be after the safety car restart. And talking about restart, I think we should get a restart this lap. And
Yeah, the safety car should be in this lap, and we are probably gonna get that one in the sector 3.
mhm. And yeah, I think Moto will be probably the best thing for him to do will be going into the pits instantly, get the drive-through off because yeah, you can have more safety cars coming through.
Yeah, definitely. But knowing Moto, he's not gonna do that until the final lap. He's probably gonna stay out for 2 laps, and we can see the drivers are in the final sector, and the safety car is going to be in this lap. And Tanish has also decided to pit for softs, and he's up to P9. Moto has about 3 drivers to overtake. The two in Haas and one in AlphaTauri there, and it is Pre the Pro who is getting the chance to restart this for the first time, and he already goes. The green flag is out, and we have the action resuming right now in 2 cars side by side. That is Aradia who's going to get the position, try and get the position from NK, who pushes him. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Aradia was almost left with no track there, but NK has gone wide off the track, joins back, but he is overtaken by Faizan there, and Hakkinen pushing everything with what he has, and Jose has some pressure to deal with as he is right on his back. And we did see, and he had and we have yellow flag and a retirement there, and some more
Oh
chaos
my,
followed by Hakkinen is out of the race. Is he out of the? Yeah, he decides
he
to go
is.
out of the race, and we did see another Haas driver who had the first incident, I would say. And we have another VSC, but I can see the safety car. That's a safety car coming out, if I'm not wrong, and I see that VSC is written here. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but it still says it's VSC right now. But we saw there were 3 retirements, and one of them was the IRC driver Sandeep, and the first one to retire in that chaos was the driver in Haas, that's Sir Angel, and not a clean restart. I'm not sure what happened there, but 3 retirements in this restart. So yeah, some bit of chaos going on, and finally we see that the safety car notification out.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Hakkinen, who was at one point leading this race and now is out of the race completely. And there goes a chance for FFRL to catch back up and close the points down. But yeah, we still have, of course, a long way to go in this race. We still have around, I think, 12 to 13 laps left. And yeah, we are under full course safety car now. You did see the safety car coming out. That's a really good spot. And another thing was, Aradhya actually had a great overtake during the safety car ending. And it was a pretty similar move to what Pre did. But of course, they did have that contact with NK, which is unfortunate for him. But yeah, he has come back into the pits. Of course, we did see him pitting early and now is back down to P10. So the top 3 right now is Pre the Pro, Marlando 28, and then it's NK in the top 3. And Tanish is P4, but he is on softs. I think he's just hoping that they get a few more laps of safety car. And looking at the trend right now, every single time we have a safety car restart, people just want to try and make moves. And especially in the first sector, you can't really make moves. It's really, really narrow, and you have gravel on both the sides. So you touch the gravel, you spin out, and then the car who's behind you, coming at full speed, just takes both of you out. And yeah, there's 3 cars out of the race in one turn.
Yeah, and most important thing is that you have, during the restart, you have colder tires. So that's another factor that contributes in losing the grip. And if we see the tires that all the drivers are right now or are on, like Aradia is all set till the end. This is the third safety car, I believe, so it should be within the next lap, and it should be in the after the next lap. So not much time for the action to resume, and looks like Aradia is all set till the end of the race, and Faizan is on mediums, and with just about 10, 11 laps to go, even Dark Knight can finish this race on this. And all the drivers down to Moto, who has gotten a fresh mediums right now. He is also dropped down to P16. These drivers are all set. But if we look at the top, it's Tanish who's on 4 laps off. So he definitely has to pit. And Jose can push it. He's up to 9 lap medium. So it's a very close call because, of those 9 laps, we had, I believe, 4 laps of safety car. So he shouldn't be having that much wear on his tire. So I believe he can definitely make it till the end. But right now, it's just Tanish and Vicious who are on the softs and of 5 laps also. It's gonna be, the tire management is gonna be crucial for these guys, and they're not gonna want to pit. They're in a very good positions right now.
Yeah, honestly speaking, Moto right now is in P16, and it will be pretty crucial for him to just keep his nose clean, because we've seen that, yeah, he had a pretty awful, let's say, incident when back got a drive through and whatnot. But yeah, down 12 positions, he needs to try and just keep his nose clean during the restart. Let all the, let's say, the carnage happen, because every single restart we have had contact between drivers. So let that happen, and then maybe, because of course we know he's fast. He was, I think, P4 or at least in the top 5 during the quali, so we know he has the pace. He just has to take it a bit slow at the start and then start pushing and getting those moves done, because he will definitely be faster than the cars right in front of him, and maybe get some points for the team.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, this was his third safety car, so I don't think that there will be another. Now, given that fact, just imagine 9 laps of racing. And we have seen these guys have switched. There was beautiful action in the starting few laps before the safety cars came in. There was beautiful action. And we see that now the grid is completely shuffled. We can see that the safety car is in this lap, and the grid right now is completely shuffled. There are quite a few faster drivers there in the middle, Aradia, and we can see Amcarol, and we also know Gaudi has been fast, and Moto. So a lot of action there with 10 laps and no safety car. I still believe that there are going to be retirements and action and overtakes. A lot of action left, and the race is to be resumed by Free the Pro again. We have the green flag out right now.
Yeah, pretty decent start by Pre maintaining the 4/10 of a second gap. Tanish right behind NK as well, and yeah, a few positions lost by Carroll, and that's because of him going really wide, almost into the wall. Just saves it, gets back onto the track, right at the back of the field, and this is exactly what we were talking about. You lose
and some contact between the Red Bull and Philip. Philip is pushed into the wall. That was a huge contact between him and Philip. He just punted him. That's a straight away retirement. Yellow flag. The safety car is out, and the safety car is out. And this is the fourth and the final one, safety car. Now, I don't care how many drivers are going to die now. This has to be the last safety car in the 50% race. But that was hilarious to see that contact between him at the top left tire, 50% in the wall.
Well, we're talking about, the S section where, if people lose it and you're going full throttle, you have contact, and that's exactly what happened right now. We did have contact, and Philip just unfortunately goes straight into the wall, and yeah, battles towards the fence and just is out of the race now. So it's down to 15 drivers, and yeah, Free has been doing a pretty decent job of keeping the lead. He gets around a 4 to 5/10 gap right at this restart, and yeah, he's been maintaining that for the last 2 restarts of the safety car. And yeah, Suzuka has just become a safety car Grand Prix right now, and the Mercedes going really wide, that too under a safety car. There is no need for that. And yeah, he's just in a hurry to go back into the pits. Maybe had some damage.
Wing damage, I believe. We will see. We'll find out. And a couple of more drivers pitting in. So there shouldn't be much loss for Aradia. And he decides to pit for Soft. And he is out already. So that means that he didn't have any wing damage.
I guess he just wanted to be on the faster compound of tires because, of course, you can get the soft compounds till the end. We'll have maybe a lap or two of the safety car, and then yeah, it's just 7 laps after that. So I would say that's an okay thing to do. But yeah, Tanish he needs to be a tire whisperer right now because yes, most of the 7 laps is been under the safety car. But yeah, the wear will still be a pretty nasty thing towards the end of the Grand Prix for him as well as Wishes, who's on 5 laps used tires. So yeah.
Yeah, and we do know that like we can see the drivers ahead of Arabia. If you see like Moto, Faizan and Dark Knight, these are all ISV drivers. So could see that when he did pit, there wasn't much loss. It's because all the three drivers behind him also pit with him. So he didn't lose much of the position. And now with 8 laps to go, it looks like it's a decent call to drop those hards. And I've already told about those hards in this track. They're not good to hold on to. And the Pro, Marlando and NK, these drivers are happy that these safety cars are coming back to back. Even these guys, they haven't gotten the experience of it because we had about 3 safety cars in the span of 8 to 9 laps. So they haven't done multiple laps in a continuous spree. So they haven't experienced that the hard thing. And safety car decides to move on for another lap. Yeah, this is the second lap of safety car, and it should be in after this. So we should be having about 7 laps of racing after this without any safety car.
Well, hopefully. I know it's like not possible to get another safety car, but yeah, I just hope these guys keep it a little safe. Just use a bit of their brain cells and yeah, just not go full throttle into the car ahead. Just take it a bit slow. Use those reaction times, and yeah, just try and not hit each other because we have seen so much of carbon fiber in this whole, not just lap, the whole race, because they have been extremely, aggressive and so many crashes. So every single safety car restart, we've had yet another safety car because of unsafe driving. So yeah, just need to try and just focus up for the drivers. And the top 3, mind you, we have all of them on hards, and getting those hards to the right temperature is going to be a pretty decent, a pretty hectic job for these 3 because you have Tanish right behind on Sauce, who can, of course, try and get those tires till the end because of the safety car. And then a few medium runners who are on pretty much the similar kind of, I would say, pace. Actually, they have not the same pace, but yeah, similar kind of tire life. Faster tires though, so could maybe have a chance of getting a podium. So the top 3 are definitely not, just solidified right now. Anything can change. We have seen that right now because the race leader that we had is not even in the race anymore. So yeah, let's just hope and pray that we don't see any more carbon fiber flying out.
Yeah, hopefully, and we do have a green flag, but that means the safety car is going in. Yeah, we have to wait for the safety car to go in, and the Pro doing the 3rd restart in this race. And just a few moments and just a few seconds, and the race should be up and away. And Carroll is caught off guard on that restart, despite knowing who had gone for it at the start. All the drivers are at the straight, and yeah, that was Marlando, sorry. And we see some position switch. Aradia getting the position from Faizan, Fury getting the positions from Dark Knight, and Incumbent Wolf, and there's one of the drivers, Precious, who is who was on softs and is deciding to give the positions to all the IRC drivers now down to P12. Faizan who overtakes him now the grid. The two Aston Martin drivers very close. Tanish who's at the back of NK, and we have the yellow flag again in the sector 1. It looks like it's the Red Bull and the Alpha Tauri, both of them involved along with the Ferrari drivers. So that's 3 drivers of the FFRL who is at the back. And now Jose losing positions, who has lost 4 positions at the hairpin, and now 5 wishes overtakes him on the softs. And Tanish holding a decent pace onto the NK. He has to make most out of these softs right now before he starts to lose the grip. And NK is on hard of about 11 laps old, so he's still giving a good fight, and making Tanish very eager and frustrated, and he has to use all the ERS to get the position from him. Now we see Dark Knight and incumbent Wolf, who has a time penalty. So Dark Knight gets the position, goes around the outside, and both of them some contact, but Dark Knight gets the best out of it, and we see that incumbent Wolf loses the position to Aradhya Gupta as well, who is on the faster stint and the new tires. Incumbent Wolf now down to P8, and Moto is on a charge right now. He's on to P9, and followed by Faizan, who's also closely hitting him, and that's one of the McLaren drivers. That's Dark Knight sent into the walls, and we see that there's a yellow flag into the sector 2 and 1. So that's probably not the VSC. The VSC would be the full yellow flag. So the race is resumed, and we see that the Dark Knight who was pushed. I'm not sure if there was a contact or he lost it, but yeah, he was into the walls, and that's one driver of IRC down to P12.
Yeah, completely losing his swing as well. And yeah, as soon as we cut to him, we had like I think 2 drivers going side by side, and yeah, he just got sent into the wall, which is unlucky for him. But yeah, right now we only have, of course, 15 drivers racing, out of which most of them are IRC. Is basically 9v, I would say 6 if you see overall. But yeah, it's like again just so many different points of contacts like here and there. Just I don't know why they're trying to go for a move on in the first sector, because again it's a very narrow sector, and Moto making a pretty decent and easy move on incumbent Wolf, and DRS is now enabled, and Malando is actually really close to free the pro right now with the help of DRS. Okay, that will be in the, of course, the next lap. So yeah, we could see a swap for positions there. And we're talking about swaps, we have Alfa Romeo and Alpha Tauri going side by side. The Alfa Romeo of Faizan is staying in front of incumbent Wolf, and Fury losing a couple of spots there, trying to get back on incumbent Wolf, but has to stay behind as of now. But yeah, P9 for him, that's pretty good. If you think of him starting from all the way down from P20.
Yeah, and at the safety car restart, he was in a good position. He was at P7, but he did lose that position just now in the sector 1. I believe he lost some traction out of it, and we see Aradhya, who's on a charge on the NK on the curb there, and very close, and trying to push Aradhya out. But Aradhya, who gets the best exit because of the tire difference, of course, and he does have the fresher and the faster stint right now, and he's up to P4. What a brilliant comeback for him, who decided to pit in the perfect time, I would say, and looks like it worked out really well for him. And right now, Carroll on the back of Fury. Fury was in a good position so far, and we see yellow flags in sector 1. I think that's Jose, and this is Marlando on the back of Free Pro, who just had to wait for the DRS to be enabled, and we see another yellow flag again in sector 1. But we have the DRS enabled, and Marlando might not. Oh, he sends it, and Free denies it, and that is Marlando off. And in the reverse direction, let's see if it's an unsafe rejoin, but that's a lot of chaos for the other drivers to handle. And we see that Carroll is now at P8, getting some positions from Vicious, who is now down to P9, and incumbent Wolf also in this action, and now joins the Ferrari driver Marlando. All these 4 cars separated within the 2 seconds, and with the DRS enabled, it's going to be another fight in the next lap, sector 1, and we see yellow flags in sector 1 again, and that is Faizan, who was in a good position. It looks like it was a contact between incumbent Wolf L, him, I'm not sure, but that was his wing out on the ground, and now he's down to P12 and with some wing damage. So some chaos still going on with just about 3 laps to go. The race is not over yet.
Yeah, Malanda trying for a move down the inside of turn one, and yeah, it's obviously a right turn, and yeah, just has that contact with Bree. Of course, we'll let the stewards decide what happens over there, but yeah, that's super unlucky for him, dropping from P2 all the way down to P10, and yeah, Aradhya on a complete and insane charge. He is only 1.3 seconds behind Bree. 2 laps to go, or actually 3 laps to go, including this one. And I think Aradhya could be on for a win over here because he will definitely get into the DRS range here, just like Carol right now on Fury. He does have DRS, but it's one thing to catch up to someone, and there's one thing to overtake, and that is one way to overtake. Incumbent Wolf just pushes the Ferrari of Marlando to the side, and yeah, he just takes the position right back from him, and I think that, yeah, it was defending from Marlanda actually, but yeah, that's a very interesting way to do it. Just push the driver aside and yeah, stay in front. But yeah, talking about in front, we have Aradhya getting closer and closer to Pre the Pro with those soft tires compared to the very worn out hards, and yeah, maybe we'll see the move by the end of this lap.
Yeah, and Aradhya is already in the DRS, so he does have the faster tire advantage, and Pre the Pro being forced to being on the hards. We see that Aradhya has made the most out of it. Now Vicious turn to get the best out of these softs, and he decides to put it till the end. Right now at the back of Carroll, the Ferrari, and Fury is getting some pressure now. He has been making some mistake in the sector one for a couple of laps now, but he has somehow managed to hold this position. And now we can see he's already being under the pressure, and he might lose 2 positions right now because of the DRS. Vicious and Amcarol might pass, but we can see Vicious has already passed him, and that was a brilliant move from Vicious to get the position, and now he has the DRS advantage. He might be able to hold Fury. Yeah, and now Vicious has gone pit off, and he loses all the advantage that he has. Fury gets a position back. Talk about luck. And now Vicious has to fight Marlando, who was not even in the picture of this fight because of that one mistake that he has done. And we have some retirement on track. That's Alpha Tauri down in the sector 1. It's a yellow flag, but not going to be a safety car because we already had enough of it, and we are into the final 2 laps and some battle between Vicious and Marlando. Vicious, who was about to get the P6 position, is now fighting to defend that P8 and is being punted about. Some wheel banging between him and Marlando gives the medicine of incumbent Wolf to Vicious. That's not the right person, mate.
Yeah, what a move on the inside. Just completely sends it, and yeah, has taken the position from Vicious. Of course, we have seen that Marlanda has the pace, but yeah, after the spin is just trying to recover now. Both the Mercedes though, Pre as well as Aradhya are really close, and this time Aradhya will have the DRS is really close, and with the help of ERS and DRS will definitely take the position from him. And Fury again, a lot of pressure from the Ferrari behind, but Carroll's exits out of the last turn haven't been the best, and you can see that because Marlando actually has caught up to him, and Vicious is also catching up to both of them. Please don't go down the inside over here and have contact, and he goes onto the grass to avoid the Ferrari, and yeah, he's just right behind as well, and Fury gets overtaken by Carroll there, and yeah, even on the last lap of this race, we are having so much of these guys just trying and just overtaking, because this is obviously a do or die situation now. Darky overtaking Gaudi, I think that is, because he's gone into the pits, and Vicious goes behind incumbent Wolf, so he is incumbent Wolf has either overtaken Vicious or Vicious has made a small mistake over there, and yeah, just drops back down to P10, whereas Fury now in P7 under pressure from Marlando, who is right off his gearbox and going to 130R, has only 16% of ERS. Can he make a move onto the final straight? Let's wait and find out.
Yeah, and this has been an action-packed Grand Prix right now. And let's talk about Fury's performance first because he started from P20
Oh,
and now he was up to P7. And just as we talk about it, he has retired from the race. I'm sorry, Fury, but we are going to the checkered flag. That is Aradia, who has pulled out amazing comeback in this from
that's Moto
at the
P3.
mid race that he was down to the last position and decides to do the most unfavorable thing, decides to pit and overtake as many as 10 cars on track. What a brilliant end to this Grand Prix by Aradia. The double podium by the Mercedes guys. Be the Pro, who held on to the P1 position for quite a long time and had lost just to the best of it, just to the best of IRC for now, for this Grand Prix, for these three races as well. A great performance by him and this week and throughout this cup so far. And well, that is one a couple of drivers left to finish the race. That's Faizan, who is now on P10, and this was his first race in this Intercontinental Cup, and we can see that about seven drivers, I think, are from IRC. I believe eight drivers are from IRC. So it has been, there's only about 11 drivers who has completed this race, and of which seven are from IRC. So this has been a great weekend for the IRC again, but it was really chaotic as well.
Yeah, both the Alfa Romeo drivers just cosplaying real life as well. They're just coming at the back of the grid, but yeah, both of them, at least one of the Alfa is going to get points, at least in the top 10, which is pretty crazy because yeah, they were not even close to being P15. I think they were P15 and P16 before the last lap, and yeah, people just. That's exactly what we were talking about earlier as well. Just have to have a bit of patience and not go into the car in front of you who's a bit slow, because we did see that Fury had a wide movement coming out of Spoon, and yeah, the Ferrari just trying to overtake him down the inside, ends up hitting him, goes into the wall, and takes Fury also into the wall, and somehow yeah, he's finished 12th, and I mean, they didn't really finish, but yeah, they're 12th and 13th, which is super unfortunate. But yeah, that's really, really good result for IRC yet again. Top three, of course, from IRC as well. Top four, actually, I would say. And a few drivers who were like literally under the radar and not even close to uh, being in the top, I would say, 5 to 10 position, they ended
Yeah.
up there, and yeah, all they did was stay away from the carnage and yeah, mind their own race.
Yeah, and that was really good for them to pull out. And one more driver that Fury would have been there, but it's just that the final sector that he had. He started at P20 and he went on to P6 there and was almost at P8 at the end. But yeah, some unfortunate ending to this Grand Prix for him. If we can go back to the standings one more time, I can see that Moto is back to the podium there. So he started at P4, he went down to P. He had the VSC, the drive-through penalty from the last position, and even he has made a good ground. And yeah, kudos to him as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty great recovery drive from being, I think, P16 or P17, getting a drive through as well. And yeah, coming all the way back from there to one of the top spots, which is the P3, is pretty damn crazy. And of course, that call by Aradhya to pit and maybe even come out in P10 and yeah, just go through the whole uh, lobby there. Yeah, pretty damn decent, and it's interesting to see how he managed those final few, I would say, laps. And yeah, we'll just quickly have a chat with him and talk about how he felt of the race really soon.
Yeah, we are just waiting for the podium guys to join the VC. If not three, we might have Daki joining us, uh, just to get the mid pack experience as well from him. Yeah, Swagger, why don't you take our Grand Prix winner Aradia for the interview?
Yeah, sure. So, Aradhya, a pretty crazy race from your end, having a lot of different things going on for you. And yeah, just talk us through the whole race and the the fact that you went into the pits when you had a decent amount of, I think, rubber on those tires, going onto the softs, and then just making a charge, coming to the top spot. Just take us through the whole race.
Yeah, so I mean, you could say I experienced every bit of the race from like downfall, mid pack, towards the back of the grid as well, and then towards the end, I managed to climb all the way to the top. But to say the least, it was a quite a chaotic race. So yeah, I mean, at the start on mediums, I was struggling quite a bit to keep up with anyone. Like I was barely even hold on to DRS of the guys in front of me. So I knew I had to pull off something different, and but instead of just I just kept on trying pushing, but in result made a lot of mistakes, did a lot and spun also actually in between. So which caused a mistake, which caused me to go quite big at the back. But yeah, then there was like I don't know, some kind of like someone died in front of me or something, and then I just yeah, this was a safety car. So for safety car, I mean, I was just like okay, just pit for mediums and do whatever I want. But and then it was just that towards the end, it yeah, and then first initially I went on hards in the safety car, thinking that my pressures might be a bit too high for soft, so I didn't expect soft. But I knew after the second safe, like after just like 2 laps only, that I was gonna have no pace on hards. So I was like, okay, no, just gamble and go on softs, and yeah, made a charge towards the end.
Yeah, and what a gamble that was, getting you pole position. I mean, not pole position, of course. You got first in the whole race. So yeah, overall a really good result for IRC as well as you. So congrats on that.
Yeah, a really good race throughout. And speaking of which, we do not have the P2 pre the pro, but now we do have P3. Moto who had a really unfortunate qualifying end to that qualifying and even start to this Grand Prix. And but what a comeback from him to get that podium position. Moto, walk us through your race from the qualifying session.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like qualifying, I was just, it wasn't even that good of a lap, but yeah, Fury spun in front of me out of spoon corner, and I thought he was gonna like ride his brakes and stop the car, and not, I was just gonna go like past him, but sadly, he just sort of clipped my car, and yeah, it was over from there. Race was actually very fun. I mean, we all started on mediums. I mean, most of our team started on mediums, and safety car we all chose to pit because of track position. And I had good pace throughout the stint. At the start, maybe I was a bit slow. I had to use a lot of ERs to keep up, but then after that, I found my footing and started keeping pace. In fact, I was like attempting, trying to get past Pri as well, but like he was just too far ahead for that. And then safety car came out. We all pitted for hards, and few laps after that, the Ferrari behind me brakes like there's no one in front of him and takes me out. And well, I get spun around. I could not catch that car at all. Like he hit me in such an angle, I could not save it. Yeah, spun around, lost my wing, got some underfloor damage, got other people behind me who kept hitting me again and again. I don't know why didn't anyone break or go around. They just went through, were trying to go through me. But yeah, race was pretty much over there. And then I was so like put off when I didn't even see my delta. Got a drive through. And yeah, I was just hoping for damage limitation after that. Then another safety car came out because somehow again people crashed out and served my DT after the first race. The second safety car restart, got the mediums on the third safety car, and yeah, just went on from there. It was like most of the people ahead were like IRC only, so like didn't have to actually make any overtakes or no. It was kind of underwhelming, but yeah, it was a decent race again. But yeah, I think I would want more from that, especially given what all that happened. Yeah, but yeah, it was nice.
Yes, definitely. We should be seeing the best out of you in the next few races. But that was definitely a good comeback from you. And well, that is done for the podium interviews. But now we do have someone in our VC right now. That's Dark Knight, who has been in the mid pack for quite a few laps, but and now we're just gonna get some. We're gonna ask him how his race was, and we'd like to get his POV as well for this Grand Prix. And also, let's talk about the incident that pushed you out of the track and almost into the walls as well in the lap 17, I believe.
Yes, it was lap 17, 18.
Ducky, could you please speak up? We can barely hear you.
1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was lap 17. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ducky is having a bit of mic issues. I can barely
Uh,
hear him.
just a second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry for that. Yeah, I think it was around lap 17, 18, something like that. It was just unfortunate. I was making some way because I was on a harder compound. So I thought I let him by, it would be a problem. So it was just unfortunate. He just clipped my left rear, and yeah, I was just into the wall. But nonetheless, I think I would have finished somewhere there. Only the mid pack was a bit. Uh, a bit of a crazy experience. There's a lot of incidents going on here and there. I was just avoiding most of them, but I think towards the end, I got pretty much everyone. And I think Fury had an incident with Marlando, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, he did.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, that I think that sums it up. That midfield was just bonkers, and if you just avoided most of it, I think you would get a good position. So I was, I think, P17 something after that incident. I finished P9, so I think that sums it up for the midfield POE.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I guess Netflix made Drive to Survive just because of this. But yeah, congrats on P9 man. Overall, I'd say a decent recovery, and even for the drivers around you, like out of nowhere, you guys just got boosted up to one of the P above P10, and yeah, that's some pretty good points for IRC as well. And we were already leading, and now you guys are leading even more. So yeah, congrats on that.
Yeah, I just want to say that about the IRC guys, I only know our people, so I just want to say that we race very well, we race pretty clean, so that I think that sums it up why we are leading the championship.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point played. And for the viewers out there who have enjoyed this, you can be a part of this as well. Just join our server or connect to our Instagram page, and you can to participate in our events or follow everything about the races and real life racing. So we'd like to have you here around. And well, that is pretty much it for this week. And this was the round 3 of the Intercontinental Cup, and we still have 2 more rounds. So stay tuned to the servers live stream, and we shall be back next week. That is Sunday, 8:30 p.m. That's all from my side and IRC. We bid you good night.
Good night.